Hey Bobby, I'm about to make a video. The purpose of this video rather is to support the proposal that went into the local mayor or the alcalde only like 3-4 days ago. It's been shared cross institutionally. So I'd just like to give an update, because I stated that I would be going along and having a look at the area again, because I've only been down there twice, and it was a zombie apocalypse. Like my friend Mario, whose families live just at the end of this area, his dad bought the house 40 years ago, lovely big old house. He's beside himself because basically well, a girl was raped by 2 guys the other day. A girl was raped and 2 people were murdered. So I went down here 2 days ago in the morning, and I spoke with like 3 or 4 people, and I said, what do you think if there was a project, a proposal's gone in, rather, a proposal's gone in. Nice lad there, he's just told me don't film down here. He's gone like that, like exactly. So quite courageously, I'd say, but I don't mind, you know. It's like you've got to speak, haven't you? And that's what I'm doing. The other day I came down and I spoke, and I said what I proposed is 33 days for 33 people, and the project, I didn't say, I might have said, but like I'd like to film it. It's to be filmed, and it's 33 Vagabundos in mi finca is the name. It was like a reality show of taking the what is literally, I'll show you at the end of this video, I'll do short clips, is actually the toilet. You start to smell the human feces as you go down here, and it's a basin, it's a runoff area for all of this bottom end of Dorada. La Dorada, the water comes down the road here, it drops down into there, it all runs off, and it at the end of this stretch, which is a good 600 meters, like it goes under the road and then into another basin, which is just a really, it's a cesspit. My friend got sick the other day. He said, and his daughter, they both had aching in the joints. So there's dengue in the area. All of that runoff from the road, we can build. I mean, just, I'm into permaculture. I've studied it, like, just for myself, read the books. Swales, so you make your channels, you channel the water, have it coming off, and rather than going into just more concrete, soaking into the land, you know, where you can. So I'm gonna cut the film now, and I'll resume filming when I'm past the people down there, the Bazookeros, because that's what's going on. There was a construction of the riverfront, very nice, well done, to the local mayor's, you know, office that did it, alcalde. But unfortunately, the problem that they had with the homeless and the drugs that come with it, they all used to hang out along the river. Now they're all just on this little strip in this neighborhood, and it's a crisis. It's a microcosm of the drug crisis, the homeless crisis, the worst, you know, how to say, like the worst situation that one could imagine their child being in. Imagine you got a kid and they end up down here, and that's like what fueled me and my projects was the image of my son being here because of the state and the ICBF Astrid, yeah, that didn't address the abuse in the house. So over 2 days, 2.5 days, and then a further couple of days for the recent document, the NARC proposal, not with my boy Matty. That was another like day and a half, and then I mean, obviously it's distilled this years of like being in a situation that, but it don't matter. I'm just saying that for the amount of time that it took me actually to write up the documents, like it's not much time. And that's permaculture. That's one of the first principles of permaculture, is that before you put a spade in the ground or you bring in the JCBs to build a swale, yeah, you think about it. You 95% of the work is in the mind, because as the 33rd degree masonry I just heard the other day, I thought it was fascinating that not just masonry, like the mystery schools is like the revelation that you're supposed to get is like your mind is creating reality. It's like, well, yeah, I've loved that for, you know, I've found that fascinating for all my life. Like, wow, look at all this, and we're doing it all, aren't we amazing as human beings? So I've just been watching a video on Elon Musk. I see where you're going, and I hear you, right, about like if you get to Mars and something goes down on the Earth and you're not fully self-sustainable, well, it's not gonna last, is it? The colony, the exploration of space. And the interviewer cut you off a couple of times. It's like, man, what a sausage. You were talking about, you're about to talk, you're going into like one about the sustainability side of things, and always ask you about the governance. He cut you off about how we're going to govern ourselves, and everyone laughed because, like, yeah, that's the biggest problem, right? That's why everything's gone to shit, right? You know. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, we're creating it, aren't we? We've created this down here, this problem, or the local council has, yeah, and you know, we need permaculture solutions. This is what I'm doing today, because I've now got like the ear of the legislators in Colombia, and a lot of thanks and respect for that. I'm feeling guided, and I feel that the documents that have gone in, now this situation also has gone, all right then, if you put your money where your mouth is, Paul, you want to do, you complaining about it, do something. So I did. I came down there and I started to get into the heads of a few of the junkies, the unfortunate, let's not call them that, but yeah. And that's what I thought. I'll just come down and speak. And then when I came down with my friend after that, he showed me the problem with the water runoff, which is it's just a dengue, you know, a swamp for dengue and anything else nasty. And all the human feces is actually, of all these people, is actually washing off down this alleyway, ending up there, and then all the mosquitoes are going there. And so what you've done, the council's done, is they just created, like, by not addressing the situation of the people that need help, they need, what I've proposed is we take them to a farm, they say they'll commit to 33 days, we educate them, we inspire them, we can see if they can get excited, Elon, curious maybe, you know, like imagine like being in the most degenerate situation on the bazooka, like the trauma, all these people are traumatized, that's why they got addictions, right? That's just done. Gabo Mate Senor. And so, but the scene is scum, you know, and you could have some of the most the biggest and best ideas in this group of people to help the country could come out of 33 days on the farm with a river, right, in beautiful nature, all bunked up together, but with loads of space to go and get their heads together, right, giving marijuana, because that's the cure for trauma. It's hands down, like, peer-reviewed studies. It worked for me for deep PTSD. Someone who's a long-term user and then didn't smoke for consume, eat or smoke for over a year, to show the court that I'm not a marijuanero as being accused of, and all the you know, the bad impression that comes with that in Colombia. I'm basically in this crew here. I've got a guy over there, right, he's like covering his face and he's like watching the patch and that. What are you doing? I'm not going to film him, don't need to, it's not nice, is it? What I'd say is that what I would do, right, Senor Vladimir Putin, I'm doing the rounds today. I've already met one of your representatives from the anti-terrorism squad at the Ministry of Defence and the Mintec symposium, where they discussed the things with the public, and I spoke clearly, and I spoke I felt with my very limited Spanish quite eloquently about the problems, and I was invited to that because of the same documents that are now, it would seem, and I assume from the email that I got, that they actually started to be embedded within the Power of Life. And the really strange thing is Señor Gustavo, Señor Gustavo, muchas gracias y buenos días, señor. The synchronicity is profound. Like, I did not research any of the policies, the Power of Life, no, who you are. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy. The ideas, the Rivers of Peace project that I come up with is so, like, in sync with all the throwing stones at me now. I'm still going to walk down there past them. I'm not going to throw stones at me, man. I'll speak to them. Is basically, like, profoundly just so in tune and in sync. And I feel that what we've delivered to you is the infrastructure, the structure of what you want to do, what you wish to do, right, is in the documents, and it can happen very fast, but it should be seen as an international emergency, because this is, man can't even make a video on a football field and 50 meters from him and they're throwing stones at me. Do you know what I mean? And I want to walk down there now, and you got people smoking crack. I'm going to walk down there. I'll speak with them as well about what my ideas of a good life is, and is this a nice life? Yeah, sat here on your ass, like smoking bazooka. Really, this is the best that you can do. You're only there because you're broken, innit? Broken. That's what I said, and I touched the guy. I said, it's not the bazooka that's the problem, it's your trauma. I said, and me too, I understand addictions because I deal with them myself, yeah? So, you know, what's the difference? What's the difference? There's no difference, only you're there and I'm here and fairly in good shape. I'm eating when I want to eat, you know. I make calls when I want to make calls, got my internet connection, can feed my dog well, got my boy in my life, and you know, it's just rotten, isn't it? It's rotten. Rotten. So it's the John Lewis and the Jeff Lawtons and the Elon Musks and the Van Shivanas, you know. the ones that have already proven to the world that the solutions are there once one person gets their head around it and mobilizes with the others who've also got their head around the problem to fix the problem. Now, I would say my big beef with all this eugenics, right, all this British, eugenics, Anglo-Saxon eugenics coming out of the Tavistock Institute and the equivalents, the social engineers, right, that have caused this, right, rather than what you see on Cal Earth, that have caused that. Can't even speak, I've given that, made my distance, and they're still saying fuck off. It's like, because they're mad on the bazooka, aren't they? Can't hold their attention for 10 seconds. Just aggression, someone was murdered. Another gang leader was murdered by another gang leader, shot. Well, not a gang leader, someone selling. One of the boys selling, one of the local lads who sells to them all. Because the guy come over from very close area and he's like, right, killed him. And then he's like, then someone else gets killed, then someone else. Manchester, exactly the same. Same old script, cocaine, money, drugs, broken people fall into it. The most aggressive end up selling, industrious and aggressive end up selling. So what I'm saying is, what I think is we should take all of the users, right, and this is like, it's the easy way or the hard way. In Russia, with the little scroats, as we refer to them in Manchester, there go again, yeah, us and them. It's not nice, is it? But when I say that, we talk about the aggressive ones, not the people that are like, I'm referring to the violence. I'm referring to the violent crime and to the dealers that are selling to the community, to the all of those in the community that have suffered the worst forms of abuse as kids, right? Whatever class they're coming from, doesn't matter. So they get the offer of the 33-day program, right, that we can include like the 12 steps in and all that. The AI, who apparently, I've read it. He started that. He had a big psilocybin hit of like mushrooms, and he was an alcoholic, and it worked for him. It got him off it, and then that's what come out of that. But why is that first step zero, step of like, you address it like in a clinical session with psilocybin or MDMA or the iboga or the ayahuasca. You go through that, you cleanse with your vitamins and your minerals. And funnily enough, my friend who is suffering, and his wife, she's a registered nurse. She worked with the drugs and homeless in Colombia. They worked on a project where they did the orthomolecular medicine first, because otherwise, she said, you got to get them clean with the vitamin C and the minerals. And I said, do you want to work on this? And she's like, yeah, because she doesn't want to see, a neighborhood and a little girl. A girl got raped like a few hundred meters from her house the other day. Imagine that. And the kids are playing around. Like, it's all just been flushed literally down here. The hard way, and I do go on tangents, Sir Vladimir Putin, I do apologise. I mentioned your name and then I didn't finish what I was saying. Oh my God. Yeah, I remember where I left off, where I met one of your representatives. So, and I said, like, I feel in a kinship. I've met quite a few Russian people over the years, and there's something there. There's a frequency, there's a spiritual vibration, and I'm going to visit Russia with my son. And I feel we've got work to do. My first proposal, hardcore proposal, is that you transfer your program, your like Borstal program for violent and drug offenders, where they go through like military camp. Yeah, excuse me for not knowing the name of the program. I saw the video on YouTube once, and I believe I watched it again. I mean, look at me. Never been in the army and military, but he's always had its place whilst we've not been able to have peace, right? You need guys that are ready to protect. That's the idea, right? A warrior protects the women and the children. A real warrior, unfortunately. Well, we won't go there. That's the easy way or the hard way, right? Even for the local dealers, you have to do a strip search. So like when you go in prison, like you take your clothes off, foreskin back, pull your cheeks back, all that. So you're not smuggling drugs into the 33 steps program. Otherwise, it's not going to work, is it? And if you leave the program, if you leave the farm, and it's, you know, you can't come back. Basically, you can't come back, and then there'll be consequences. You got to get hardcore on the consequence side. And what they found in Russia, the positive thing, it's not just like, yeah, get them into the military training, that'll show them, get in the army. No, what happens is that it is a lot of the time it's a case, like it's the same all around the world. You're dealing with young men, right, who are starting off on a life of crime, right, getting into little problems, man, doing stupid things, often the troubled. So immediately, what an immediate response could be is that setting up, and the military can do it. They've got the bases, they've got the spaces, they can actually run the program, and you get them running, you get them training, you know, into therapy as well, you know, clean them up, man, like throw in some proper philosophy, you know, around peace, and what you'll see is a rapid change, and all the neighborhood will be happy. Okay, I'll try finish this video. I'll finish this video now. That's it. That's me.